The Pentagon wants to supersize the Navy to more than 500 ships. The U.S. Navy could grow to a fleet of more than 500 ships, an increase of more than 50% over the fleet's current battle force. The Pentagon is facing mounting pressure to boost the number of U.S. warships as a counter to China's rapid naval buildup. For studies suggest the key to growth lies in small, lightly manned or unmanned warships, which are inexpensive to build and sail, but bristling with sensors and weapons. The Future Naval Force study looks at possible directions for the U.S. Navy to take in building a fleet for 2045. 3 studies were commissioned from within the Pentagon itself: the Cost Assessment and Program Evaluation Office, the Joint Staff, and the Navy, and another by the Hudson Institute, an outside organization. The Navy will take all of these studies into account, Defense News reports, to ultimately decide on a path forward that will increase the size of the fleet. The current U.S. Navy battle force fleet consists of 293 ships, including aircraft carriers, cruisers, destroyers, amphibious ships, and submarines. The Chinese Navy, meanwhile, boasts 350 battle force ships. China's warships are generally smaller and less capable than America's. China only has 2 aircraft carriers, but Beijing is investing in larger, more capable ships. China is currently building its 3rd aircraft carrier, known as 003, and is constructing a 3rd Type 075, amphibious landing ship. Both are key to the country's power projection capabilities, particularly against Taiwan, and more are almost certainly on the way. The U.S. Navy has sought a way to grow its fleet for the last 5 years, but is struggling to find a way that doesn't include paying more money. A single U.S. Navy Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, for example, is equipped with one 5-inch gun, 96 missile silos, 2 helicopters, and a radar capable of tracking targets ranging from sea-skimming cruise missiles to ballistic missile warheads in low Earth orbit. A Burke-class ship, like the newly commissioned USS Delbert Black, is one of the most capable warships ever built, but each one costs a hefty $1.8 billion. Fortunately for the Navy, the robotic revolution that swept the Pentagon after the attacks on September 11 is now reaching the world of surface ships. In 2019, the Navy's uncrewed Sea Hunter ship drone sailed autonomously from San Diego to Hawaii and back. The first prototype of an autonomous sub-hunting surface ship, the Office of Naval Research Medium Displacement Unmanned Surface Vessel, christened Sea Hunter, became the first ship to successfully autonomously navigate from San Diego to Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, and back without a single crew member on board, defense contractor Leidos announced in a January 31 press release. During the round trip of more than 8,300 kilometers, personnel from an escort ship boarded the Sea Hunter periodically to check electrical and propulsion systems. It is unclear whether the submarine hunting catamaran-style drone ship had to undergo any repairs while at sea. It is also unclear how long it took the autonomous ship to complete the round trip across the Pacific Ocean. The Sea Hunter reportedly arrived in Hawaii at the end of October 2018. The Sea Hunter program is leading the world in unmanned, fully autonomous naval ship design and production, said Jerry Fasano, Leidos Defense Group President. Leidos is coordinating the Medium Displacement Unmanned Surface Vessel project for the U.S. Navy. The recent long-range mission is the first of its kind and demonstrates to the U.S. Navy that autonomy technology is ready to move from the developmental and experimental stages to advanced mission testing. U.S. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, a Pentagon organization responsible for developing emerging technologies for the U.S. military's use, handed over the Sea Hunter to the U.S. Navy in January 2018, marking the end of DARPA's anti-submarine warfare continuous trail unmanned vessel program, proving it can handle long-distance, open-ocean voyages. The Navy is betting that unmanned warships, equipped to function as sub-chasers, radar pickets, and floating magazines, are the way forward. An unmanned ship can't begin to match a destroyers like the USS Delbert Black, but not every warship needs to be a Delbert Black. An unmanned ship could carry weapons and sensors for much less, extending a task force's detection range and increasing its collective number of missile silos. Other ships might be lightly or optionally manned, with humans only embarked for specific tasks. The push for unmanned ships also reflects the hard reality for budget planners, that the Navy spends almost as much on personnel as it does buying ships and aircraft. The Navy requested $207.1 billion for 2021, asking $57.2 billion for new equipment and $55 billion for the people to operate it. Those two numbers typically go hand in hand, though unmanned ships and aircraft promise to change that. Ultimately, the key to boosting the Navy isn't just buying more ships, it's buying more ships while adding as few sailors to crew them as possible. All of the proposals lean heavily on unmanned ships, recommending between 65 and 87 large unmanned surface ships. These are described as about the size of naval corvettes, or between 1,000 to 1,500 tons. Extra-large unmanned undersea vessels, like Boeing's Orca, will likely contribute to the mix, augmenting America's attack submarine fleet. Is the U.S. Navy placing too much faith in unmanned vessels? In the 2010s, the service decided that small littoral combat ships and the Zumwalt-class stealth destroyers were the future. In both cases, the Navy bought into technological hype only to become bogged down with expensive delays and cost overruns. 10 years later, the LCS class is generally regarded as a failure, and the Navy will build only 3 of a planned 32 Zumwalts. If unmanned warships run into rough waters, it could imperil the Navy's entire effort to grow the fleet.